Hey Maria, so I'm back with the woman of the Bible, the woman of Proverbs 31. Her character, she represents the fulfillment of life lived in wisdom. Her joy to be praised by her husband and children as a woman who surpasses all others. Her story, her Proverbs brim with less than glowing description of women. There are wayward wives, prostitutes, women with a smoother than oil lips, strange women, loud women, defiant women, wives who are like a continual drip on a rainy day or decade in their husband's bones. Women whose feet never stay home, brazen-faced women, and even a woman so repulsive she is likened to a gold ring in a piled pig's snout. Any woman reading Proverbs may be tempted to conclude that its authors tend to blame women for weakness and actually rooted in the male psyche, especially when it comes to sexual sin. But to balance things out, there are also some odorous description of men, including scoundrels, villains, chatterfools, and sluggards. And Proverbs actually opens and closes with positive portrayal of women. First as wisdom personified, and then as a woman who can do no wrong. Just who this woman on a pedestal just who was this woman on a pedestal described in Proverbs 31? Was she, as many think, the idle wife and mother in traditional Jewish home? Husband and children recited the poem in Proverbs 31 at the Sabbath table, written as an acrostic. Each line begins with Hebrew letters and alphabet sequence, making it easy to memorize. The poem describes a wealthy, aristocratic woman with a large household to direct. She was hardworking, enterprising, capable, strong, wise, skilled, generous, thoughtful of others, dignified, God-fearing, serene. A tremendous credit to her husband. She arose while it was still dark to feed her family. She looked at fields. She looked at a field, considered its merits, and purchased it. She wove clothes and made linen garments, which she then sold. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also and he praised her. Many women do noble things, but you suppress them all. The description of the woman in Proverbs 31 offers a refreshing contrast to other ancient depictions of women, which tend to portray them in more frivolous and decorative terms, emphasizing only their charm or beauty. Still, the perfect woman of Proverbs 31 hasn't always been a friend to ordinary women. In fact, she has sometimes been rubbed into the faces of lesser women by critical husbands and preachers unable to resist the temptation. What woman could ever measure up to her? And is a woman worth to be measured only by what she can accomplish in the domestic sphere? Or is the woman in Proverbs 31 a symbol of all the contributions a woman could make within the culture of her day? Regardless of how you answer these questions, there is more to her story than simply being the idle wife and mother. Before we can discover more about her true identity, it is worth posing a broader question. Are there really all that many women running around in the pages of Proverbs? Perhaps, in fact, there are only two main women in Proverbs, the wise woman and the woman of folly, as some had called her. The latter capacitates the adulteress and her many wicked counterparts. The former capacitated wisdom in the abstract and wisdom made concrete in the women of Proverbs 31. In Proverbs 3:13 through 16, a young man is instructed. Blessed is the man who finds wisdom, the man who gains understanding, for she is more profitable than silver and yields better return than gold. She is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life in her right hand, and her left hand are riches and honor. Here is wisdom in the abstract personified as a woman. Proverbs 31 echoes this phase. A wife of noble character who can find. She is worth far more than rubies. She brings him good, not harm. All the days of her life, she selected wool and flax and works with a eager hand. She is like the merchant ship, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while still dark. She provides food for her family and portions for her servant girl. She considers a field and buys it out of her own earning. She plants a vineyard. Here is a concrete example of what wisdom looks like in a person's life. By contrast, the man who welcomes the brazen-faced woman, the prostitute, the adulteress, is nothing but a fool. He has fallen prey to the woman of folly who offers deceitful pleasures that will lead to his death. From beginning to end, Proverbs is a practical handbook for leading a life based on wisdom. In the end, there are only two choices for both men and women to embrace wisdom or to love folly. The woman with a picture of what virtuous life, male or female, is capable of producing: shelter for others, serenity, honor, prosperity, generosity, confidence about the future. True blessedness. Who wouldn't want to be like such a woman? Who wouldn't sing her praise? And I'll be back with Woman of the Bible.